I want to briefly share my thoughts on what happened in Paris last night. First off, prayers go out to the victims and their families, despite what Johan Safar, the Charlie Hebdo cartoonist, posted on Instagram. There was another incident in Strasbourg, France. A high-speed TGV train derailed and killed 10 people and injured 32. Local officials told AFP that the accident was apparently caused by excessive speed. I don't know if it's related to everything going on in this last 24 hours, but a train derails, kills 10, and 32 injured. At the same time, a 7.0 earthquake struck off the coast of Japan. It seems like everyone's safe. There was a tsunami warning. It doesn't look like it's a huge deal, but it ties into what I want to talk about with this whole Paris thing. And I posted this on my Facebook page. I'm just going to read what I posted. I haven't heard anyone really mention the possible connection with climate change in all of this. The big UN climate conference is in Paris starting in a couple weeks. Remember what the French Foreign Minister said back in May 2014. Quote, by the end of the meeting, for the first time in over 20 years of UN negotiations, all of the nations of the world, including the biggest emitters of greenhouse gases, will be bound by a universal agreement on climate, end quote. I would imagine, given the tragic events here, it may be a convenient time to discuss other issues beyond simply climate, to come up with plans that would bind the nations of the world in some sort of, quote, universal agreement. Add the whole quote from Obama in response to the attacks in Paris. Quote, this is an attack not just on Paris, it's an attack not just on the people of France, but this is an attack on all of humanity and the universal values we share, end quote. So you have universal values, a universal agreement, Paris, France, and the UN. I'm not dismissing the deaths. It's tragic, but my conspiratorial mindset can't help but connect the dots. Sadly, this is more evidence of how powerful the spiritual deception of the enemy really is. Those who say false flag no one died don't understand what a false flag is, nor do they have any evidence for their claims. And they're hypocritical because the same news or mainstream media that they claim are lying to us are used as, quote, evidence that no one is dead because they haven't seen any casualties on TV. That's nonsense, and that's what I posted. But at the same time, there's some reports out there suggesting, according to an email I received, this was Russian intel. It's translated into English. Quote, a stunning new report issued today by the Ministry of Defense to the policymakers of the Security Council stated that yesterday's attack in Paris can be likened to a, quote, ritual massacre and was orchestrated/directed by a secretive element cabal of Freemasons holding high positions of power within the United States Central Intelligence Agency, the French General Directorate of External Security, the British Secret Intelligence Service, Israel's Directorate of Military Intelligence, and the Vatican. And it goes on. According to the report, the main intelligence directorate first alerted the MOD to the potential of this Friday the 13th plot a fortnight ago, October 27th, after a highly secretive meeting was held in Washington, D.C., attended by the director of the CIA, John Brennan, French General Directorate for External Security, Bernard Bajolet, former MI6 chief John Sowers, and former DMI chief and current Israeli National Security Advisor Yaakov Admador. The overt purpose for this extraordinary meeting of the West's top intelligence masterminds, this report continues, was their public discussion at an event called the CIA GW Intelligence Conference Panel on the shared 21st century international mission where the future of the Middle East, at least from the Western perspective, was being determined. So again, there are some smatterings and rumors here that the Paris attack was a CIA Mossad operation. We should be praying for the victims and their families and keep an eye out for anything else that comes up.